Well, first of all, congratulations to the other three teams, Houston, Baylor, Gonzaga, and their coaches. Obviously, in a year like this, there's a lot of challenges. In the Pac-12, we didn't know if we were even going to get a chance to play. So shout out to all my fellow Pac-12 coaches that worked so hard as a group to try to make sure we played in a non-league, or I wouldn't be sitting here today. So. And then lastly, my staff, my coaches, and everybody, it's just a great accomplishment. Appreciate all their hard work. And I understand that, I'm well aware that there's a lot of great coaches out there that have never been to a Final Four. So, we understand that it's a hard accomplishment. That being said, they play a tournament for a winner. So we're here to try to try to finish off what we've started here and try to find a way to stay alive for Monday night, but it's not going to be easy. We understand how good Gonzaga is. We're full well aware of everything that they bring to the table.
Coach, we'll begin now with questions. Let's start with Ben Bolch of the LA Times. Ben.
Hey, Coach Cronin.
There you go, Ben.
What's up, Ben?
Hey, Gonzaga obviously is not lost, but it did face a double-digit deficit against BYU in the conference tournament. Is that where you kind of go to look for a template for how to succeed against this team, watching what they were able to do in building that lead?
Obviously, I had to watch the game to scout BYU. I had to watch it again to scout Gonzaga. So, but we don't have BYU's personnel. So when you look at stuff like that, it's not always apples to apples in preparation because we don't have a 7'3" center. So, you can't do it strategically the same thing. What I can tell you is what BYU did was they got off to a good start. They took care of the ball, and they scored. They executed in the half court. They gave themselves a chance to set their defense. So obviously we can't start running BYU's offense, but they did execute. They did take care of the ball, got the ball in the basket. I'm sure that got their confidence up, and it gave them a chance.
Have you identified two or three things that are kind of must-haves to win this game?
Nothing. I'd say nothing different than we always do, Ben. It's just obviously going to be a lot harder to do due to Gonzaga's personnel and their coaching staff. So you got to take care of the ball. You got to execute. You got to get the ball in the basket. That's always the key to transition defense because they'll kill you in transition. We don't like giving up easy baskets no matter who we play. It's going to be a lot harder against Gonzaga. Jalen Suggs, when I really zeroed in on him on film, I just remember as an assistant coach and long time ago in 01, I think, the first time I was an assistant at Louisville, and we played Marquette. And there's a guy named Dwayne Wade, and just his explosive athletic nature with that size. I hadn't seen that, and I don't know if I've seen it since. So he's extremely impressive. So stopping the ball when he has it is a lot easier said than done. So to my point is, you got to defend, you got to rebound, you got to take care of the ball and execute. But it's just going to be a lot harder to do due to their personnel.
Next question goes to Adam Grossbard of the Orange County Register. Adam.
Adam Grossbard, Orange County Register. Mick, you mentioned just what a difficult thing it is to have a season in a pandemic like this. Your team missed out on all those typical off-season bonding moments, whether it's a normal summer training camp or just team dinners and things like that. Just given those circumstances, how gratifying has it been for you as a coach to see them come together the way they have this year?
It's been awesome just to see them having fun. One thing about me, you see me, I'm extremely competitive. So my passion, you may think I'm getting on them, where I'm really encouraging them. But either way, I'm intense. Obviously, it's game time. I'm intense. We play to win. But other than that, when we're not practicing, we keep it lighthearted, and so we've had a lot of fun. And this, it's what our line, the assistant coaches with each scout have told them, after we beat Michigan State, you guys know how happy you were, how much fun you had. If we went, if we beat BYU, it's going to be 10 times as exciting, and then and so on and so forth. I don't even think they realize right now. They're having so much fun. It's almost because we don't have any seniors. They don't play. We're not playing with a lot of pressure. I don't even understand if they realize it. What they've done. Although after we did beat Michigan, I think one of the wild. I showed it. I on the bus. I walked back. We have 3 buses. So there's only a few guys on my bus. I was showing them the picture of. I can't remember what street it was on campus, but it was a Hildegard or Gailey or whatever. They were burning couches in the middle of the street, and it was getting wild in Westwood. So I think the guys were like in shock, because we haven't had we haven't had any fans or students, so there's been we haven't had excitement. None of these teams. We haven't had any excitement. Maybe Texas and Baylor had fans, but we didn't. So. Our fun's all been on the 9th floor at the Marriott. They've been having, they got good guys, and I tell them be careful, but we tell a lot of jokes.
The next question is going to be for Allison Williams, who is Melinda Adams on the chat, but is secretly Allison Williams of ESPN.
It's my pseudonym there. Hey, Coach, Allison Williams, ESPN. I'm just curious, you talked about some of the challenges Gonzaga presents. What's the mental edge that your team could utilize to win this game? What's the right mentality they need to have?
Same thing you got to have every game, You're only going to win if you outplay your opponent. It's going to be hard because of their talent level, and they're trying to get what they want on offense. You're trying to take it away from them. Same thing on, when we're on offense, we're trying to get what we want. They're trying to take it away from us. And then when the ball comes off the rim, who wants it more? Like I said, it's just going to be harder because they got some serious talent. And the freshman that they play has got a chance to be an NBA Hall of Famer. So, their personnel is my concern. But, at the end of the day, we'll be there. There's a game. We'll show up.
Let's go next to Jim Meehan.
There it is. Sorry, Mick.
Right.
Jim from the Spokesman Review in Spokane. You've seen a lot of basketball, coach for quite a while. What do you make of their offense in comparison to some of the best ones you've come across in your career?
They pay you for the comparisons. So I'll just tell you that they have, when you talk about an offense, you got to have different components to have a great offense, and they have all of them. Okay, they have great coaching. Okay, but they have 2 great point guards, and then they have Timmy in the middle, who's an elite passer and scorer. Obviously, Kispert's an NBA wing that came back to school. So they can hurt you in every possible facet. I will say this to you, that again, I'm bad at comparisons. I haven't slept in 3 weeks. So I'll just tell you that they pass the ball. What jumps out on film to me is they have great players that pass the ball. So they remind me of, I think of pro teams that won titles like the Spurs or the Warriors, great teams that really pass the ball to each other. If you're out of position, they find the open man. If they draw a double team, they find the open man. They really play the game the right way. That's what jumps off the page to me. Talent combined with unselfishness is why they're such a really tough out team to stop.
Next question goes to Bill Plaskey of the LA Times.
Yeah, Mick, how important have the contributions of David Singleton been, both on and off the board?
Well, I'm glad you got to, because obviously Johnny, Jaime, people have been getting a lot. David is just a wonderful kid, an unbelievably hard worker. If you Google him at all or do anything in the background on the things that he's done for other humans off the floor, and his character is just off the charts for a young man. That being said, we wouldn't be here if he doesn't step up when Johnny fouls out against Alabama. Big shots early in that game where we were down, and then obviously the overtime. So he has 15 points on 5 shots in that game. So just huge game that game. But for me, one thing about David is he's everything I believe in. If I could buy stock in his life of what he's going to do and be successful, I would buy stock in it. Because he's got character. He has tremendous respect for his coaches. He pays attention. Bill, you've heard the term, a kid will run, a certain kind of player, he'll run through a wall for you. That's David. I mean, if I say, hey, David, you got to run through that wall for us to win, he would just take off head first. I mean, that's just the type of person he is. So that's permeated through his team, and it's helped me build the culture of winning at UCLA. So, again, when you take over a program and there's guys in that locker room, and you got to get them to buy into you, and he's totally done that. So I'm very appreciative of him.
Thanks for writing my column for me, Mick.
You got it, Bill.
The next question goes to Joe Reedy of the Associated Press. Let's see if we can make it 2 in a row, Coach.
Hey, Mick, congratulations on your first Final Four. Just with, I know it was emotional when you left Cincinnati, but what's it been like with the tournament close by, having family, friends, former UC officials kind of be at the games? And then is this kind of hitting a trifecta for the Cronin family this weekend with Keeneland opening today, Derby Stakes is in the game tomorrow?
The first problem, Joe, when you're playing close by is always the obvious, ticket problems. Ticket problems. And I'm still trying to get some tickets for Deontay Vaughn and Jaron Cumberland and John Williamson, for tomorrow's game. So, yeah, ticket issues, man. The tough thing is, you don't get to see any of these people. I'm waving at them from way up in the stands. So, I'm so appreciative that they're, people are coming and supporting me and the Bruins here in Indianapolis. But, obviously, sure, it's great to be close to home. So, people, the people that you're in this situation, you dream of it. You want those people to be able to be at the game. It's cool. It's great that they can be here. So. And I always wrap it up with that as saying, it's great for my players because their families couldn't see them play all year. So it's just, it's not just for me, it's for them as well to be able to have their families supporting them at these games.
Just what about the ultimate trifecta this weekend? Because I know your dad's at Keeneland, but with the Derby Stakes races and then getting to see his son coach in a Final Four tomorrow.
I hear you, buddy. Just root for Brilliant Cut tomorrow in the Santa Anita Oaks. For Mick Cronin, Bill Strauss, Dave Kenny, and Eric Johnson.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, buddy.
The next question is going to be from Nikki Kay of Spectrum News, Los Angeles.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the Final Four. I just wanted to get your feel for how this NCAA bubble played out. Obviously, your team had great success with no positive COVID tests all season. But from the outside going into this, the apprehension of what you guys were coming into, from everything from player safety to mental health, how would you look at it now? Obviously, that you've kept winning, you've spent some significant time in it.
Well, I'll say, Nick, we tried to stress it from day one. Not even day one, as we knew we were going to come back on September 21st. We talked about it daily in our Zoom calls, making as I had to make sure our players understood that this could get taken away real quick if we come back and we're irresponsible. You got to rewind to the mental state of Chancellor Block and trying to keep everybody safe on our campus. Back then, nobody had been on our campus for a period of 6 months, so allowing us to come back in some of the other sports. My message was, this can be taken away, guys. Like, we have to be extremely responsible. But so we took it very seriously. We still take it very seriously. But all the credit goes to our players because it's been a heck of a run for us to be unaffected to this point.
Next up, Sam Cronin from the Daily Bruin.
Hey, Coach. I know Roy Williams retired yesterday. I saw you tweeted out. It was at 1 a.m. Eastern time. Were you losing sleep for scouting Gonzaga like you were against Michigan?
1 a.m.'s early when you're playing in the NCAA tournament. One thing when we were able to pull out that win against Michigan State, Coach Izzo told me, "Don't you dare go to bed. Damn it, you got games to win. Keep your butt up and watch film and and prepare." So. I told my staff that too, by the way. Yeah, so I got to tell you guys what Coach Izzo said. Your ass better not go to sleep. So, 1 o'clock is that's early. So as far as being up, but I actually had to tell Alex to do that. I don't partake in the whole Twitter thing, so he has to do that for me. But anyway, while I'm sitting here, congratulations to Coach Williams. Unbelievable career. I'm happy for you. Come to LA. We got great golf courses. You know them all. Let's get it done this summer, Coach.
Do you think there's any extra thought to him retiring while you're preparing for the Final Four? He's won so many national championships, and he's retiring with this big legacy, and this is something that you're going for this weekend. Is there any connection you're making there?
Not really, to be honest with you, Sam. I'm not a big legacy person. I believe in happiness, not legacy. So my decisions to come to UCLA was based off of that, of what I thought professionally was going to make me happiest and what was best for my daughter. As much, but now my competitive side, I want to win every game. I'd love to be able to uphold my bargain and what at UCLA of the championship tradition that all our sports have. I'm more on the happiness side of it. So I've absolutely loved my first 2 years. And this one got screwed up by a pandemic, but the whole world did. So I'm knock on wood, I hope to be around for a long time.
Tracy Pearson is up next. Tracy.
Hey, Mick. Not that your team needs any inspiration, but is there a chance you might play them the highlights, the tape of UCLA Gonzaga in 2006 tournament?
I think Ryan Hollins mentioned that to me. Was he on that team? You're always testing me. See, now I got you.
Can't remember. I know. God, you got me. I can't even remember.
See.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yes.
I really probably not. I try to teach these guys, and I've always done this. Here's what we're going to have to do to win. We try to give them certain points that we're going to have to do to win, and then tell them the truth of how hard it's going to be from an effort standpoint because of who we're playing against. And that's really where I try to keep their focus. I'm not a big false motivation guy of outer things. I try, because none of that's going to help you when you're trying to stop Jalen Suggs in transition. It's not going to help you when you're guarding Corey Kispert. You better make sure you don't let him get his feet set and shoot in your face. So we try to focus on the things that go on between the lines more.
Ryan wasn't on that team, by the way.
He was not.
Yeah.
We have time for one or two more. Let's go to John Hale of the Louisville Courier-Journal.
Hey, Coach, I'm curious, just as you look at Johnny and what he's done this year, Johnny Juzang, what's the biggest area of growth from him from what you saw on tape at Kentucky to where he is right now?
Not a lot of tape at Kentucky, not a lot of playing time. I think I saw Johnny play some AAU, and I watched some of his Harvard Westlake stuff. It was tough. At Kentucky, it was what it was. I mean, he was behind a great player. Maxey, wasn't it Tyrese Maxey and Quigley? I mean, those guys are, and he passed up his senior year in high school. So he probably wasn't ready, and then he goes and he's got two NBA guys in front of him. So, I didn't judge him off of that because he probably should have been playing at Harvard Westlake. But I did look at it like, what a great senior year to learn. So, I mean, there was no doubt in Johnny's talent levels. I mean, it wasn't like I had to evaluate him. It was all about when he put his name in the portal of, trying to make sure he came to UCLA for me.
And the final question, Coach, will come from Austin Montgomery from SB Nation.
Hey, Coach, I just want to talk about your team's experience in crunch time during this entire tournament. The last 4 regular season games, you're in a cup 4 50-50 games against tournament teams that didn't go your way. And then in the tournament against Michigan State, Alabama, Michigan, you guys were the teams that were making the key stops, the clutch shots. Can you just talk about your team's performance in crunch time when the game gets close? Is that one advantage you guys might have over Gonzaga, that you guys have been there before when you guys need to make that key stop when the game comes down to that one possession?
Well, sure, it's definitely helped us, right, in the NCAA tournament, or we'd have been gone against Michigan State. We didn't panic when we got down 14, and more importantly, we didn't give in. And that's a credit to the guys on the team. You know, they're just refusal to give in. The Alabama game, you know, when they hit the 3 to send it in overtime, if there's anybody on this call here that thought we were going to win in overtime, make sure you go to church on Sunday. So you know, these guys have just been unbelievably resilient. And look, sometimes the ball bounces your way too, but you do make your own luck with hustle and defense and taking care of the ball and trying to give yourself a chance to get the right guy the ball on offense. But we've had different guys step up. But I would hope that, you know, I would think our experience in playing in so many tough games has helped us. You know, that being said, I don't think it's going to hurt. If that's the case, I don't think it's going to hurt Gonzaga at all. They just got, you know, because Mark Few's too good of a coach for that.